So here's the new star of the homestead. She's now 3 weeks old and doing great. She's doing a lot better than Sirloin. Sirloin we had to bottle feed, and she took to, you know, nursing right away. It's so awesome to see. So the cool thing is being a female, we'll probably keep her around now, and she'll stay here and she'll be bred. We'll probably get a new bull because Joe over there is her dad, so we don't want to you know, go down that path. So we'll have to switch Joe out and get a new bull probably within the next year. I know one of our friends has a bull that he's already bred as well, and we might look at just trading bulls. So we're gonna check the bloodlines and see if make sure they're not related, and then go from there and be able to switch them out, and that'll be good going forward. So the plan now is we're gonna try and put a little halter on her, get her used to being led around, get her used to being tied up against a post and tree, that kind of thing, so she really gets used to us. And that way going forward, there is the possibility of milking her. Bui right here we have milked before, but because we're in such an open area, it's very hard for us to hold them in one position without the other guys, these guys, Freya and Joe, coming over and kind of bothering us while we're doing it. So if we can get this little girl trained on a halter and trained to lead and that sort of stuff, and then be able to be tied up in one position for a little bit, then the chances of us being able to milk her goes up quite dramatically. Downside to the situation is Freya here was supposed to be pregnant as well. We figured she would get pregnant the same time as Bui by Joe, but for some reason that didn't happen, and that's the second time that's happened now. So we're not sure if there's something going on with her. We think she might be pregnant again, but it's hard to tell. So what happens in that situation is now that we have little Legatha here, I think that's what we're going to name her, is we're going to keep her. So instead of having a cow for meat for the 1 year, now we're keeping her. So we're kind of missing a year of meat. That'll be in about 2 years. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do in 2 years for having meat. What's going on, Freya? Hey, what's going on? The hard decision will be at some point if we're just going to harvest Freya here, which really sucks because we've had her since she was young, or sell her and take that money to be able to buy another cow that can get pregnant or that we know has been pregnant in the past. So there's going to be a lot of other decisions that are going to have to be made in the next little while, now that we know that we've only had one calf instead of two, and that calf is now a female. And then Sirloin here, we'll probably harvest him maybe in the spring. We bottle fed him. We raised him up as a little guy, So it's going to be hard. The thing though that we found out is if you look very closely at his eyes come down. He can't lift his eyeball up. So we found out that it is some sort of issue with the back of his eyeballs. So he can't look up, he can't look around, they're stuck down, and what'll happen is gradually over time the ability to raise his eyeball up gets worse, and then eventually he will go blind because of it. So we've been told it's hereditary from the internet and all that. However, when we talked to the place where we got them, they said they've never seen it before in any of their cows. So we're kind of looking at it as it's probably attributed to the fact that he had a rough start. We had to bottle feed him. We don't think he got all the nutrients like the cholesterol and that when he was first a baby, which is kind of essential in that first sort of 48 hours, I think it is 24 to 48 hours. They really need that to be able to grow up healthy, and he didn't get that. So we think that could have attributed probably to this problem with his eyes. So it's kind of a relief as well that we are going to harvest him, because you know we don't want to have a blind bull on the homestead. That just would not be good for him or for us at all. But the little calf here is doing well. Her eyes are perfect, so, and she started feeding, nursing right away, so we're not worried about her at all. She looks great, really healthy, and we're looking forward to having her as another member of our fold. Now, she did have a bit of a rough start when she was born. We kind of didn't push her all the way out, so she was kind of hanging out, and we was spinning around, thought she had pushed her out, and she didn't. So we was looking for her. It was kind of funny, but like, oh my god, at the same time. Pigs pushing on the camera. Go away, go away, go away. One of the neat things though is to see how well they all get along. Like, you know, Freya right here, who's, we keep calling her aunt, and then Joe, the dad, the bull, you know, it's almost like they take turns looking after her. So if she's laying in the grass, Freya there, the mom, will go out to eat in the other field, or, you know, lay somewhere else, and then look, it's almost like Freya will take a turn watching her, and then Freya and we will go out, and then Joe will take a turn watching her. It's really neat to see how they interact and how they kind of look after each other and watch out for each other. So guys, if you like this video, go over here and check this one out. It's kind of how we had a really close call with when she was giving birth to Sirloin, and it was kind of our first experience with having the little calf on the homestead, and it was a kind of a close call. So really interesting to look at that video and what happened.